Hey boys and girls, it's Nightstalker here, and today we're loading in on Sun City Siege to show you how you can use your Namkhans very brilliantly on this map. There's a little spot that I'm going to show you on this. This is, by the way, a recorded game without commentary. I'm speaking over it afterwards. So I made this game quite specifically to show you what you can do with your Namkhans. And at the time after I'd done it, I thought, hey, I should actually record this, and so I'll point it out as I go what I'm doing and why. Here we go, loading in. So the first thing we're going to do is take Namkhans, obviously. Now this works on Sun City when you're defending only, and the trajectory of arrows does mean that some other archers can do it, but the Namkhan arrow trajectory, the ballistic curve of their particular arrow, is actually very good for it. That's not to say you can't use others. In my experience, Imperial archers work really well as well, and longbows are obviously quite curvaceous in their ballistic curves. So, the thing I'm going to show you here is where this first tower lands. Notice how the Namkhans can hit it. But what if the enemy take the other side? What if they get their other siege tower in? Dum 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 dum. You can hit that siege tower too. Ta-da! You see? So that's a very good spot for them to start because they're immune to artillery there. They bow heroes can't get to them without completely taking over the walls and whatnot first. And it's really safe place for them until the ram gets in. But that spot actually becomes very useful even after the ram comes in, and I will show you that in this video as well. Now, see this placement here? You'll notice how none of the arrows are striking this area, or very few. There's two reasons for that. The first is they're in dispersed formation down the bottom, so that the arc around the building and up on top is a little bit funny. See how only about half of them are hitting? So the more you come across to where this point is here, the more arrows will make it onto the top of the wall. Now, in a minute in this video, I'm going to show you what it's like to tighten up the formation too. But we've got a bit of battle to go first. So we've got a well-defended wall here. Lots of friends where they should be. Lots of enemies where they should be as well, which is the outside of the wall, burning and dying in their masses and droves. It is a lovely day for murder in Sun City. So as you can see, our team have decided that they're going to exchange their tier 4 cavalry for some serfs and whatnot outside there. Always a good trade to take your Armiger Lancers out there to kill some Metallurori. Some people can pull it off. I've never been super successful, Who cares if you kill 50 peasants if you lose a tier 4 cavalry unit? My opinion. Of course, if a lot of your teammates are going out the gate with you, it can mean you lose a lot less, lots less of your cavalry, so that most of them will make it back in. As long as some cheeky bugger doesn't close the gate on you, in spite. So, if you can jockey them around here, see those little bunched up on the bottom right? That's not going to work, because a whole bunch of them will hit the wall. Okay, that's the formation you need right there. Nice and tight, ready to go. So now what happens here? Can you target the units outside? Watch this. The answer is no. See how it's all hitting the wall? So we have to wait for them to come up on top. So, lesson so far, you can hit both tower landing points. You can't hit too far towards the point, or else the ballistic curve can't make it around the side of the wall, of the big building behind us here. And third of all is you can't hit the guys outside with your archers either. And that's true with longbows as well, but even they'll hit into the wall. So here we go. Let's take a moment, relax. Don't panic, don't start firing your arrows too early. You've got limited arrows and you're going to need all of them. Trust me on this. When they come in, we're going to start firing. Don't know why that guy chucked that grenade at the wall. Maybe the wall looked at him funny. And watch the carnage that's going on here. Heavy troops, light troops, mass troops, dead troops. Already a couple of heroes have gone down. Look at that absolutely incredible damage. And the bleed ticks are incredible too. And they just keep coming. Keep repositioning your circle. You don't just leave it in one spot. Keep microing them. You're going to get a lot more out of them if you make sure you're targeting the spot with the most troops. Now I don't want this longsword getting him away. I want him bleeding to death. So we'll see if that does the job. Here we go. No point at shooting at the guys outside anymore because they were going to get flattened by our charging halberds. So we're targeting the light troops back on the siege tower, which is the perfect location for the ballistic curve of the arrows here. And of course we're completely safe from trebs, artillery and bow heroes, so we can do this until the cows come home. Which is a bit of a saying we have in New Zealand for a long time, bloody ages, right? So we've inflicted several casualties. One or two troops have tragically lost their lives in a serrated arrow accident, and of course I think it's 2 heroes now have also accidentally taken an arrow to the knee. So what now? We're out of ammo. We sent them back. Ammo management's quite important for this spot because you can just continuously shoot for a long time uninterrupted. You actually need a lot of ammo backwards and forwards. And it's not a downfall of this position because the supply point is very close, but it is still a pain, and you're still very vulnerable to anything coming through that gate, especially cavalry that will charge along the open space there towards the point, the supply. There we go. We're going to use the Longsword ult to completely stop this charge, and then we're going to have a "this is Sparta" moment. Unfortunately, Sparta's might and warriors didn't last too long when attacked in the back by paladins and a couple of heroes. Never mind, I don't know if you noticed there, I tried desperately just before I died to place the circle. Unfortunately, in my quick flick of the mouse and placement, it didn't quite land in exactly the right spot. So, still getting some kills, and when it gets down to about sort of 10 or 8 seconds there, somewhere there, you send them back so that they're ready again when you respawn. If you wait for them to retreat by themselves, they won't be immediately available. See there? I did it a little bit late, and there we go. So we're going to put them back in the same spot, and I'm going to show you how this can assist you in defending the main gate. And this is going to surprise you. This is going to surprise you, I think. Watching this back a couple of times, I noticed that I completely forgot to put the bleed on here. So the absolute devastation and carnage you're about to see could have been a lot worse. Now, the first one I triggered a bit early. I should have knocked the cavalry down, and I'm going to pay with a lot of hit points here and only get away by the skin of my teeth, which means it was bloody close. But as you can see, they're completely vulnerable to the archer fire here. And had they had the bleed on, most of them would already be dead. Doesn't matter, they still mostly die. And as you can see, Mr. Spear thinks he's scary, unless you're a longsword and you just don't care and have a giant shield. The biggest thing here, what do we got? We shot up 1 unit of cavalry, another one's just come in, and they're going to get shot up as they come back out. It's 2 units of cavalry. I tell you what, in this game, there is just an insane amount of cavalry on the enemy side. See all of that? I didn't even have bleed on, and I just realised it and went, oh, I'm an idiot. Now, we've got 6 seconds till the ult's back up again, so we're going to get ready for the next unit of cavalry. Here we go, we're going to trigger it correctly this time. Lao's range is my butt. Goodbye. So as you can see, one expensive unit of high tier delicious cavalry completely annihilated. Now obviously this works better when you're not entirely by yourself, but it also works really well when you are by yourself too. Maybe don't take on tier 5 cavalry from the front if you're by yourself, just saying. You can often hold this little gate to the pen that the archers are in now. So I'm in no hurry, I've got 24 seconds left on my cooldown for my ultimate, my Clash of Shields ultimate. And we just get some heals in before that's up, and then we're going to rinse and repeat and take out another unit of cavalry. That ranger thought he had a chance. Pro tip, he didn't. 6 seconds, we're ready to get ready again. Who's going to be the next unit of heavy cavalry to get annihilated by a unit of Namkhans? How about these guys? We just roll, and see this little spot I've moved to here? That's where you draw them in because it's a clear line of sight from the archers. And then you can move back this way as they scatter. You want to move back this way after they scatter so that not too many get into the pen with the archers. The archers can deal with 1 or 2, but if the whole unit follows you into there, you're going to die pretty quick. So, that is the Namkhan trick on this Sun City Siege map, as long as you're defending, right? So what I'm going to do now is the rest of the battle is pretty ordinary. One of the horrifying things about it is you'll notice that only 30 of the kills in this match from the end score are infantry. More than half the score in this game comes from killing cavalry, which is ridiculous. You can see here I just made the quick mistake of not watching my map and getting attacked in the back. So here's some Namkhans. I just hit V to attack. Count with me how many hussars they get even in the open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They killed 6, 6 hussars that were charging them down in the open. That's filthy. So that's what it is. All right, so I'm going to put the I'm going to end the commentary here. I hope you learned something new, or you just enjoyed the video. And thanks for coming to the channel. I'll just put it in double speed from here on in, so you can watch the end of the battle. It gets down to the last 3 seconds, I think it is, to this match to see who wins or lose. I won't ruin the surprise for you. I'll just let it play out quickly and slow it back down at about 30 seconds to go, and you can see what happens. Again, really appreciate your support. Thanks for coming to the channel, and I hope you learned this awesome trick and you're going to use it yourself. I want to see some more Namkhans hanging out with my Namkhans right there in that corral. Here we go through to the end.
Hey guys, Knight here. Thanks for watching my videos. I make these in my spare time for a bit of fun, so hopefully you learned something or you just enjoyed watching. It would really help me out if you would subscribe and like my videos. See you on the battlefield.